Good morning, traders. Can you hear me? Morning, Forrest, Diana, Paul, Caesar, William, Demo Trader. Morning, Vin, Mick. Thank you over here for the DM during the weekend. All right, so this morning I'm going to run on a special webinar. So Bookmap and I decided to invite you for the pre-market plan so you can see what we trade and how we trade in the room. This morning we're already like over here since 4 o'clock New York time, and we had a forecast. We started trading like some small caps. We started trading futures. Now this morning, as you know, we have earnings play. So we have AMD, Google. We're gonna look soon at the best gappers of the day. And then remember that today at 2 o'clock we have the FOMC. So generally, and this is like a rule that I like to keep, when I have the FOMC, I tend to be very conservative to trade before that data, okay, comes out. All right, let's start. So this morning you can see we have some gappers in a small cap land. So I start looking over here, the ones that are above 30%. And I can tell you that small caps are on fire. So today we're going to talk about stocks in general, so small caps and big caps. When I say big caps, means like mid and big caps. So we started like trading GSI this morning. My plan over here, you can see we have GSI. I will also run Bookmap after. But we started like short over here very early into the 1150s. We're going to look for a main fader. So we're going to look for fail to $7.80, $8 over here and lower. So what I'm expecting over here is a pop, ideally into the 960, $10, and then a short. A few things to say over here about GSI. The stock has small dilution, small amount of bag holders. If I go over here back in the days, we can see that we didn't trade a lot of volume down here. Also with a reverse split. It's a POS stock, so the stocks continue to dilute and unwind over and over. But we have to be very careful because it's always a micro float, has a small market cap, and being that this has a small dilution and a small amount of bag holders, we have in statistics the discount trap. So in that case, if it's going to be this kind of play, so if we're going to have the stock instead reclaiming over here the VWAP and start consolidating over here, then we'll look more for a long play. But for now, okay, we have the forecast you can see over here, gap and crap, and we'll be looking to short this. A few things to say about HSI. If you don't trade usually small caps, okay, remember that you need also a broker that allows you to short hard to borrow stocks. Okay, you cannot do this with the usual, let's say Tinker, Same, and others. So GHSI over here, if you have any questions, otherwise we can move on. I can show you how we started trading this morning. Some traders took over here into 11, some other traders over here took into the 10.50, and then we took this unwind up $1 for now. You can see here again JSSI, so we waited this pop and then we start shorting over here into the J line, so backside of the move, and we're looking for that unwind. I can bring up a few statistics on GSSI. Actually, let's cover over here. You can see that we have a previous fader, we have a micro float, we have a short float 10%, so that means the amount of the float that is actually holding short. The second one this morning is I will like to go with MINM. Okay, so this stock has a high forecast fader. So my forecast is not the one that you see over here, okay? My fork is a systematic process that I calculate. Takes about, you know, for a beginner probably 50 minutes. For me, like, you know, 30 seconds to make the forecast. But it's a highly accurate. So we have like 87% this morning that MINM will fail. And we explained this morning. We're looking for a gap and crap. So we're gonna put it here, MINM. Again, we're looking for a gap and crap. So essentially a stock to fail. We had a good use over here this morning of Bookmap, and if we have time, we're gonna cover that together. This is how we traded. So this is one of the mentor students over here. So we started trading this pop into this 370, okay, all the way down to 270. So a pretty good return in terms of percentage. Then we saw over here this other stuff, and the system was telling us gap and crap in that moment. So that means like look to short. We started taking a short, and now we're holding for that backside. Not only short, because over here you can see some of the traders. This is again, this is an example, in this case using Cobra. This is an example of another trader taking the long side over here from $3 till 350s. So nice, good return, right? And then over here, taking the backside and unwind. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna look for, ideally, a push into this 325, 330. We wanna see low volume. And then from here, we're gonna use Bookmap, and we're looking for 270 and lower, okay? We started also, and over here you can see what I'm telling you. Thank you for the trader here that this morning helped me. So alert's amazing again. Thank you, Jay, for the morning, because we had 4 stocks and we killed the entire 4 stocks shorts. This is because we have a trading system that actually comes out and tells you if to long and to short. And we have a forecast system that I teach. I'm gonna take 5 members for from March on, from 5 traders from March on, that I will teach them my forecast system in small caps. So whoever wanna join, reach out to team at JTraderco. What we have also, we had TRIB. So this was another failure that we had this room. We took the short over here 0.75 all the way down. So what we're looking for, a failure. So ideally I pushed over here at 0.60, and then I want to see over here an unwind to 0.47. What we said over here this morning on Trib, again you can see we alerted this M&M high forecast fader, Trib high forecast fader, and then once you join the room you can see how we actually traded and when we alerted, and all the different trades. This is another one that we had, for example, PHIO, again another high forecast fader, and we're looking again even there for a short. A little bit more interesting this morning is going to be ENSC, and I believe that a lot of traders will be on this. That's the reason why this morning I put Bookmap up over here for ENSC. First of all, I want to check with you. Let's put over here 3 hours. First of all, I want to look with you the daily chart. Okay, so we're gonna check the daily, and then we're gonna look into the large caps. Okay, so don't think this is exclusively for small caps. We're gonna trade small caps and big caps. This stock has unwinded, okay, all the way down since basically since it came out, since the IPO over here. So this is 2021 all the way down. We see that after the reverse split that it came over here. This was 31st March 2023. We had a reverse split 112, okay. So after that we had a lot of volume playing. This day we traded around 28 million. This day over here we traded around 10 million. Then over here we traded 40 million. So these spikes. So we can say that the stock has a pretty good amount of bag holders, all right? And we can set high, actually we're gonna do this. We can set the high and lows for all of these big gap days where we trade a lot of volume. We have this resistance. We're also gonna keep over here the low, okay? We have over here this other resistance. Okay, so we can see that we have a lot of good levels of resistance between $2, so this level over here, and 265. Traders, can you see my cursor over here when I'm moving? Good morning, Anthony. Okay. Okay. So we have over here a nice level of resistance between 2, more 230, more 265. Thank you, William. Another thing, what is that gives me confirmation over here to go for a short? Well, it's a process, okay? And process over here requires a little bit of study. We look over here at ENSC. Requires a little bit of like look at the fundamentals of this company, the statistics, and also the price action. And ENSC, I gave this morning already my forecast, but I will repeat it. So we have a stock that is up over here. You can see announces positive end of phase 2 meeting with FDA for the 3 server pain. Sorry for how I read. As you know, I was born in San Marino, Italy. My parents are from the States. That is half Italian. And ENSC is also a history of fading. So you can see that we had 4 gaps, and actually 4 gaps closed right on the day. But you have to be careful because you had an extension. So the average extension is about 14-15%. And the average unwind is bigger than the average extension. What is an extension? Is the, is the push, okay? Is the move from the open level to the high of the day, which is generally an average of 14%. But remember, this could be 5 or this could be 25, 30. We have a very small float. Short float is around 9%, but it's pretty normal when we have all these stocks. There are all these stocks. Yeah, this is like a stock that always gaps and fades. We have a low institutional, so you know that smart money is not really interested in holding this for the long term. And then over here we have an SSR on, okay? So this means, as you know, short sale restriction. You cannot short on the bid. You have to short or in the mids or in the ask. They do this like to prevent, the SEC does this to prevent the stocks unwinds too much. I want to check also dilution over here. So we're going to look at ENSC. And this will be the 5th stock in small cap that we traded this morning. The 5th stock. Again, remember what we did. GHSI, we did over here MINM. We did over here another one, MINM, TRIB, also PO that I shared before, and so on. So the point is not to take the top tick. I don't care at all, top tick. The point is to have high conviction and a low risk entry. So this morning, we alerted ENSC. And why? Why this trade? Okay, I will share something that you will tell me, Jay, it's so easy. It's so easy. Okay, so you will see a lot of examples today, and possibly the market will give us some very good examples that will allow you really to learn something very precious today. So the first thing, I started looking if at that 2 and 250, 265, okay, so the zone over here that, okay, we were marking, right? If we have over there also a high liquidity level on Bookmap. So if I look at Bookmap now, I have to look at those level of resistance if we have supply. So remember what we said, we have that level of previous gappers where we have resistance 2, 230 and 265. Okay, so a 2 area over here. Now still early, we still have like 14, 15 minutes. Over here I want to see resistance, but at 230 we have some supply stacked. 250 we have over here. And let's see also what we have at 265. So if you zoom out, you can see better these zones. So you can see over here this level of resistance, okay, which is this level over here. And then we have this new level over here, 230, which is this level over here. And then of course we're looking at 2. So looking at this, what we have essentially a wall of sellers between 230 and 250, 260, okay? And that's a very good thing. The second thing about ENSC, and we can look at this together, okay? So you understand how I put together the chart with Bookmap, okay? The second thing, and I'm looking at ENSC, you can do with, you know, shelf stack, but I like using the dilution tracker. It's fast for me, reliable. Again, we already saw the float and everything. I'm using this to see if they have dilution or not. The company has very low cash, and for a series of reasons that now it's a little bit too, it will take too time because we have to go also in earning place to review. We have over here no cash. We have also an S1 in progress of 10 million. We have over here another one. We have also warrants of 1.56, okay, registered over here October 2023. So we have a ton of dilution, right? We also have an ATM or shelf, yeah, but in this case is capped by baby shelf restriction, which means that you can only raise 1/3 of the float in the next 12 months. So having said this, okay, having said all of this, this morning I have an 80% forecast fader because I made already the calculation before for this and other metrics that I track in the room. I have 80% that today we're gonna have a fader on ENSC. So let's go back over here. We're gonna look at the chart. These are our levels that we're looking at. We can put over here a 1 minute or a 5. So I tend to look at both. In this case, you can see the price over here is exactly at the J line, so it's been holding over here. This is like a magnet. We're gonna look for this level over here between 215 and 230. Okay, so ideally, we'd like to see this zone over here for a short and then unwind. If we have an extension over here, never try to enter the front side, but you always want to wait for the back side of the move. Okay, so for that lower high. Is it clear, traders? Any question on this? Okay. Okay, let's move to the big cap land. I love big caps. We have a system you can come and check yourself. It's paying 70% of the time. Looks like incredible, but it is. In Tesla and a few other big caps. At around 902, you will see over here the system telling me which setup to trade. And the system basically has 80% the equation, then 20%, just for my confirmation, I want to use Bookmap as well, you know, to get the better timing. But over here, this is will tell me the setup to trade. Same we'll do it on AMD, Amazon, and all of us. All right, let's look at a few things over here. First of all, anybody over here trading Tesla? I know that we have some traders over here in the room that are just trading Tesla. Morning, Morgan. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, all right. So, okay, traders, you can write or in the room. Okay. Or in the trading room, or you can write on YouTube in the chat as you prefer. So I'm going to explain the plan that we have this morning. As you can see, this is what the J lines discovered. These 2004, 2005. I would say for the I come from mathematics, so I really studied mathematics a long time. Fibonacci code, the power of the numbers. There are some numbers that repeat over time. There are numbers like there are sequence of Fibonacci, you know, you have to sum the code. So 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, and so on. And the same thing, there are like numbers that repeat over time, and they are called expansion numbers. So these numbers also you can find in everything, in nature, in the universe, and how you divide the human body. Just look at the Retriever Man of Leonardo, okay? You will see some certain metrics. And if you don't know how to take, for example, the 1.61 fib level, you just have to divide, let's say, 89 divided 55, or 55 divided 34, and so on, okay? So you divide two numbers, you get that 1.61. And even if you divide 3 by 2, okay, you will get that 1.61. So every single time the price goes over here, essentially rejects, okay, and you say, well, that's a magic, I don't need anything else, I can simply trade this system. Well, it's not always like that, because you're not going to have always the perfect over here, like dip, okay? For example, dip is perfect over here, but dip is not perfect over here. So you need always a trading system. Now, if I'm looking at Tesla, I'm looking at range. And that's the reason why I'm trading Tesla. Tesla is a range, costs for some trader too much. You can use options. You can reach out to me if you need a little level of options. You can see that we had a gap down over here on the earnings. Now it bounced a little bit. This morning is fading because all the market is coming down. Let's look at the 5 minutes. Okay, you can see this is the yesterday low. We have this major support over here. So this morning, how are we gonna trade this? So essentially, when I'm looking at a chart like this, and I know this pattern pretty good, we're gonna look for, or a pop and fail. So we're looking actually for 187 over under short, okay? And we're gonna look for this pattern over here, essentially. And you can also trace a line over here, right? So we can see that we have this bear flag. So if we fail this level and we pop against that level, then we're looking to short. If we pop instead 187, we wait for lower high, we're short. Paul, Morgan, Anthony, Kim, Vin. Is it clear, traders? So we're gonna look for 185 puts. We're gonna look for the first main target over here at 185. Okay, so this is gonna be the first target. And then we're gonna move the second target down here to the 182.50. Remember that could even happen that today, because we have the FOMC, the market is not gonna move too much until 2-30. So if that's the case, if we have a sideways action, so if the market is really not moving, don't try to be pushy, and don't try to trade the range. Okay, remember that what you can see over here, pre-market high, pre-market low, we have to get out from that range. If we are stuck in this range, I'm not gonna trade it. Okay, so I need that the ticker over here goes out of that range. All right, we have a few minutes, so I want to go over also MD. MD, we had an earnings play. So let me go over here into the daily and hourly chart. This morning I made my plan. So you can see over here, earnings miss, support over here into the 159, 160. Ideally, okay, how I'm gonna trade this over here? Very simple. If we have a push over here this morning, okay, start looking for the 166, 165 and 50s. If we break over here, so if we have essentially a breakout over here, and this starts like unwinding like this and pulling back, I'm looking to short on lower high. And we're gonna look for target 158, 159. So there's no point for me over here in longing right now, because you're already far from that support. The only way that I'll be trading this is to have over here a short in this area, 165, 166, okay? So this area over here. If I have that set up, I'm looking for that unwind. If this starts pushing, I'm not really caring too much about this. Google, exactly. This is where I wanted you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, traders. You're doing a very great job for helping me out every single morning. Remember, traders, we're trading this morning since 4 o'clock, okay? 4 o'clock, we're over here in the room. So we have over here the major support called also demand zone. And this is a level over here, 143, 144. So two plans. I shared this morning, but essentially we have a breakdown, don't trade it. You don't want to trade over here the weakness. Wait that we retest this, okay? So wait that the price comes back, lower high, and then from that lower high, if we stay below that 144, 145 area, we can start looking for a short. If instead, traders, we're gonna have right away instant fake breakdown and right away higher low, so holding instead that support, start looking for a target 148 and 35. Okay, so two major plays. Again, I'm also gonna be for traders in the trading room over here. We're gonna look at the major stock this morning and futures. So if you have over here any questions, or reach out on YouTube, or stay in the room and follow the screen share. We're gonna be together until 10:30, so we're gonna stay still 60 minutes trading over here. All right, so remember the plan. We're gonna run now Bookmap, and we're gonna shift from stock to stock. Okay, generally I like to put over here 6, 8 tickers, so even futures. So we're gonna start looking over here this morning at, we have Google, but I also have Tesla, which I like very much. I'm gonna start with Tesla. So stay right over here to look for the forecast. You can share, traders, your trades. I have a mentoring student over here. She's a very good, promising trader from Italy. And also there's a Mama Bear. So this is the third day the student was over here with me. So we're gonna look to trade small caps, and perhaps also, if big caps will move, Amazon, Tesla, and Google, and also AMD. Okay, those four. AMD and Google because it's an earning play. Amazon and Tesla because actually our favorite tickers. Maybe I believe she's gonna be on ES and NQ. All right, so we have a weakness over here on ENSC. We're holding M&M short. We're holding over here ENSC short. We're holding TRIP short. We already shared the charts. This pre-market. Okay, there we go, 9:30 open. Let's see what the market is going to do over here. So we have a little bit of push on Tesla. watching Tesla at the 188, this area over here. Okay, I would love to see over here the push to 188 and then a short. Came to the 188 over here. So in this case, traders, exactly here, this is a short level at 187.40, risking 188 and 10. Okay, so 187.40 short, risking 188. So we're looking for that short play now, and we want to look for this liquidity to go away and start over here and unwind. The good point is that if it goes bad, we have a very tight risk versus the potential profit. First target is going to be 186. As we said, we're risking 188. The entry is 187.40. And then that second target is going to be 185. Microsoft is pushing up. Tesla over here should fail. I like over here this new heat map over here we form at 68.80, 86.80. We have to start looking for lower highs, lower lows. And you can see the system tells me over here short. This is the system, okay, F50. You can see that came up. Okay, so for now we're fading. We got the 87.40 over here. First target hit 186. You see the heat map? Cover over here 1/3. So 186. In the meantime, I'm updating over here in the room. 186 and 10. By rules, 1/3 out. Risk break even. So this is a perfect F50, and now became over under. So we have that over under means like goes over and then push down. Now the risk is break even. So if it goes break even, we don't care anymore, out, and we don't lose anything. That's already your exit. 187 and 40. It's done. That's the first trade of the day. Now we're waiting. Let's see also over here Meta. Tesla still at 188. Meta is pushing strong. So nice bounce over here Meta. Let's see also Amazon. Amazon is pushing strong. Tesla again to the 188. So we have small caps, MINM pushing. ENSC we're holding short. Trib we're holding short. And GSSI instead halted over here for the long side. Remember, GSSI is the one that we said low forecast fader, okay? Forecast fader low. Again, you can see that we stalled into this 188 and 30. It's not really a huge heat map. Generally, I see these really like 50, 60K per minute. We have this 200s, the pre-market high over here. But for now, we're waiting. Possible trade on IMNM. We'll call over here the trade. Remember, read the disclaimer. This is only for traders that are part in the room, that already know the setup. Otherwise, everybody else just simply follow only the explanations, how to read the order flow. So we see Tesla over here, break of 188. So very good risk management, right? These are inside bars.
Yeah.
And Q on the 5 minutes. In Q we have a long play. Okay, so in Q would probably push over here into the 450. Okay, so in Q we have a nice washout over here, the system over here pushing, so we're probably gonna have this 450. If you see traders, other small caps or other Big caps setting up, please alert. MINM still pushing. I remind you that we showed this 2 times this morning. So we're gonna put over here up MINM. It's a small cap. So today you're gonna also look over here how to trade the small caps. Still pushing over here. You can see the fake breakdown, that VWAP trend line, and this is pushing. So now this is going to probably go over here to the 191. So we're going to look at Tesla at 191, 192. If we have a nice stuff, if we have a nice rejection for a good short. Okay, so this is extending. The volume is not that huge. We're going to look for a short around 370. So we're watching over here now, MINM. Let's see if we confirm that.
Yeah.
I put you also this, Google and NVIDIA. Don't be early. So we're holding over here ENSC. We're still holding over here for who took this high this morning at 360 MINM. We're gonna add more short or risk maximum break even on that. You can see over here how we got this level, right? So exactly top into this 350. Start looking over here for a trend line break. If we have this trend line break, then we have an unwind and we can re-add over here. We can add more if we break this 325, 324. So we're looking to add more at 324. We didn't have our level at 370, we are watching. Let's see if we break over here 324, we're gonna add. Otherwise, we're gonna wait for that again, 360, 370. Still pushing, so let it go over here. Getting soaked at 350. I think we're gonna push that 370. So patience. A lot of selling pressure every single time we get this 350. Google, we shorted 144 and 30. Google. The system gave us 144 and 30. Okay, we're short right now, 341 IM&M. Risking simply this 355. So we're adding to our position over here, 341 right now. We're risking this 360 over here. And want to see over here now a trend line break. Still holding over here, 350s. So we're using the morning P&L as risk on this. Should fade over here. So we need to see the break of 340. You can see that there's some algo over here coming up, right? So first 331, now walking 340. Then we're going to look at Google and why we took the Google. And this is about simply the trading system. So more supply over here, area you can see at 350. Let's see if we can break this 340 over here, and then we're going to have a wash. Instead it came 340 soaked. The system is saying over here J slim, so we should see a fail at least till 330. And timing is very important for us, so we don't short on the front side. We short over here when we had a top, and now very low risk. Okay, 335, 334, but you can see they're still holding, right? There's still like demand coming in. And we know that in case they're gonna hold this 330, being it's a stock over here that is bouncing from the J-lines, they generally can get to that 365, 370, okay, to that area. Google behaving perfect. So break over here 350, careful because it can push, so I always like to put over here a stop to that high, few cents above, because sometimes you can have a fake and then unwinds. Okay, they're trying to hold over here 350. Never try to buy the breakout, because what happens when I see this, they can drop instantly. So at least we'll take, let's say, a stop over here. Now we're risking maximum over here, there's 363, 364, so we give a few cents risk. If we fake out and then push back, we're gonna reshort. And we're still green for the day on this stock. So in the 5 minutes, we made over here a bar above 1 million. Still holding over here at 350. Home run on the ENSC. So in the meantime, 1 second, we're looking at ENSC. Remember, what we are looking for a push over here. You can see how this took the J lines, and the system giving us for a gap and crap. So this is perfect playbook on ENSC. DHSI. We had this halt, it popped. Over here we had another gap and crap, it faded. And this is exactly Google. So why we looked for a short? Because the system over here gave us a short play, and you can see the over-under. When the system tells us over-under, and over-under came exactly this point over here, okay, we decided to short over here. Anybody over here traded Google? Of course, you have to be in the room over here, but that's a setup. You can see the system giving you this entry, and over here telling you over-under. So you know exactly I'm looking for a short. All right, let's go back over here to MINM, and what they're doing over here, they're actually still over here holding this support over here, the VWAP and 90 MA. So you can see that we have constant buyers over here in the dips. We're still holding that position. So right now we're holding a position on ENSC. We are holding over here the position on Google, and we're holding the position on MINM. Okay, I would say MINM for now is the most tricky one of all. Again, 340 over here. They put a little bit more liquidity over here, 355, 360s. Still good for us. Good you took Google over here. Price over here, it's holding a dip. It's rejecting a top. Careful over here, right? So we know that it's a stock that's very trappy. It's not fluent, for example, like a move right now on AMD or a move like on Google. Tesla meanwhile got to the 190. Okay, 338, 336. So now what we're going to do, traders, we have average 341. We're going to move the stop 341, okay? So moving stop to 341 on MINM. So max risk break even. We want to see over here this to unwind more. Okay, you can see we have a very small support over here. And this is our, over here, exit. We don't want to risk anymore. So we cut over here, break even, we're going to revisit. It's fine sometimes not to take the trade because it's not working. We're already over here 15 minutes into this trade. It may wash, but again, we don't want to risk any further. Also because the average is not that great. 341 is not that beautiful average. And let's continue over here with Google. I would say much better price action. So over under, system giving the short. Breakdown over here with the 144. You can see that we had this breakdown exactly this point. And then we start rejecting lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and unwind more. In the meantime, traders Trib, for who started with us this morning, Trib short. You can cover everything at 0.48. 0.49, 0.48, cover everything. You can see what we said over here this morning. Trib, this was 7.14. Bag holders, 87% forecast fader. Okay. So I'm not inventing anything right now. We used the strategy. System told us to trade for a gap and crap. We used Bookmap and we did the forecast. Forecast gave us 87% forecast. This will close right on the day. Again, another gap and crap. Okay, so we had 5 gap and crap this morning in the small cap land. Okay, let's scan a little bit over here. So we have AMD. Bookmap is also over here. Remember this morning, we're coming after an earnings miss. In this case, we're pushing up. I wouldn't be looking over here for a trade. Ideally, until this 170 or 172.50 over here, this hourly daily. So not looking to trade over here. Amazon. We had a bounce play. Let's see over here the systems update. Okay, we had a bounce play. Sideways for now, don't trade. We have no setup over here. So let's review coin. Coin over here is bouncing, no trade for now. Let's look at Google. Okay, for who's short with us on Google? Target over here is gonna be 142. And the next one, we're gonna look for this 140. This is a 5-minute chart. So unwind over here pretty good. This is the 1 minute. You can see over under we had the short play. Let's start looking for more. So Meta bounce play. Meta was not in the plan this morning, so we didn't trade it actually. I mean, there's somebody who traded, so very good over here. So bought the J line, so bought this dip over here. The system told us along, but we had already too much in the watch list that we traded. You can see over here, this is the trade over here, buying the dip and now holding 50%, as he told me. I will be looking, Lamy, for 395, and then if we can have a more push over here, 398. Okay, so try to use over here the 90 MA as trailing. Very good long, nice reverse to 50. You can see the breakdown over here. I want to check also with Bookmap what we had. So we're going to put also Meta up. We're going to look Meta for the last 2 hours is fine. Meanwhile, high of day, MINM. We're going to also continue to look at MINM traders. Don't trade right now. Remember, we got out break even. That was a very good idea because the system told us 10 minutes in, not moving, get out, break even. All right, let's look at Meta. So 395, it confirms over here the resistance, and you can see the swallow sellers forming like a double top. So if you're long over here, 395, we'll sell a little bit more. I think that's a pretty good target. And the next target stay for 398. Trail over here with the 90 MA. We had Microsoft this morning. I saw this bouncing over here. So no setup for now. Bounce on the hourly J lines. If it holds over here 405, we can have another push to 415. Nothing over here in Nvidia, pretty choppy. Let's see also over here SPY. So we had some unwind. SPY gave us another J-line rejection. You can see over here the system, okay, confirming. And the reason why is this. We have a gap down. So when you're gap down, you're trading mainly short. With this trend line break, all the J-lines bearish. System telling you over here short. Okay, so that is the short play. But again, we generally trade more ES, so we have a lot of futures traders than trading essentially SPY or the Qs, but it's the same exact thing. And then we have Tesla. So Tesla over here, we had a bounce play. We shorted, we got out in the money, break even the rest. And then over here, gave in a VWAP bounce. So just to show you, I didn't take this trade over here, but just to show you, you have to look for this trend line break. This is what we call a morning star, okay? So it's a pattern, morning star. You have the confluence over here, the VWAP, the 200 on the 5. We have the trend line break on Bookmap. You can see over here bars coming in. So this is just like a reverse of a sweep, right? Sweep, and when we have the break on the downside, over here we have a push. Now you can look for that 190, then 192. Okay, let's go back over here to MINM. So volume, it increased. So we passed to bars at 2 million. And remember, this was a good short for us, Premarket. We took short 2 times on this. For now, simply wait. You can see that we had a system that was passing over here from a gap and crap to gap and extension. Volume came on the break of this 355, 360. ENSC in the meantime touched the target. So we broke the pre-market high, still holding the pre-market high. There's no A+ setup over here to short on MINM. So a few things over here, how to trade the earnings. I think you have a very good trader. She's doing amazing, so very well done over here. So this is long on NVO, long over here on Microsoft, and long over here on okay, so yeah, Microsoft and NBA, yes, okay. Got it. Very good job over here. If we can, we review this together, so well done. Okay, let's continue to look over here at this. Remember, traders, that when we have high volume like this, you can see that the volume simply doubled from 300K to 600, 700K per minute. We don't have to touch. The stock is above the pre-market high, it's still pushing. No reason to short the front side, okay? What we want to do is waiting for a trend line break. So on something like MINM, let it go. We have a trend line break. It makes a lower high, and then we can look to short if we're going to have that setup. Otherwise, maybe this is even some of those setups, the stocks that go up all day, and we're going to trade bounce with the VWAP, 90 MA, or J lines. By stats, when we pass 10 o'clock and we're holding the pre-market high, we have then 50%, not anymore 70 or 80, 50% of the stock will unwind on day one, so close right on the day. And if it holds the open level by 10:15, we have even less that it will close right on the day. Let's go back over here to see Tesla. A lot of the plays that we take are essentially these fake breakouts. You can see this one over here, very nice. And shorting on that fake out for an unwind, but then you have to put the stop right here, and this is like a scalp. AMD over here still bouncing, looks strong. Google here, it came back home to the open level. Meta approaching above that 394 to the 395, so trying to clear out of here the resistance. As we said, the next target is going to be 398. Let's go back over here to MINM. Price over here is forming, as you can see, an ascending wedge. So if we have traders this push over here to the 435 and it stuffs, we're gonna short over here fast at 420, okay? So if we have the stuff over here, we have a liquidity trap, okay, LQ, liquidity trap, sorry, LT, we're gonna short over here, all right? So let's start watching if we have that kind of pattern, which is very often common in the small floats, high volume flow rotation stocks in small cap land. You're still holding over here. You can see how it's getting tighter, and you can see this lowering of the volume. So generally this happens when they have a pullback. So they're trying for a breakout over here. We'll only be trading if this is a bull trap, okay? Bull trap, what is it? Essentially a fake breakout. Is it clear, traders, over here, the screen share? Any questions we can review later? Michael, I tried to look for the last 30 minutes. So over here, if you look at the time, I generally put the last 30 minutes. Thank you, Charlie. Don't short over here the weakness on MINM. This could be a trap and they can push it higher. So one of the things that happen, especially when we have these patterns of ascending wedge, is that they're gonna try the fake breakdown and then they're gonna try to push it. So over here gets squeezed. We're only looking, because over here for us there's no long. Long is if the price would go back over here. We're only looking for a fake breakout and short over here. This is a pattern that we trade, backtesting this pattern since 2017. I backtested for actually 3,890 or 95, I don't remember which one. 3,895 small caps since 2017. The only way over here, I'm answering a trader, the only way I would long would be down here 350s, or if this is going to hold, okay, this is going to hold the VWAP, or this pre-market high over here at 385. I will need to see a pattern, but those are the only case scenario where I will be long in these. AMD, mom?
Yeah, just now.
Let's watch AMD. short pattern over here, AMD. We just shorted now 168. Shorted, risking that 169, TP 166, then lower. And I'm gonna share over here with you traders what I saw on Bookmap. So a major stuff over here, 169. We got in 168. You can see the big selling pressure. This over here, this 168.9, you can see that there was a big soak. And then right away, the soak couldn't break over here, right? Couldn't break the 169. So remember also AMD today earnings, so there's a lot of liquidity. And then I see this pattern over here. So a beautiful J Slim, Paul LaFontaine. This is the J Slim, okay? So Mick, Vin, Paul, Todd, and then we're looking for this first target over here, 165.50, 166. So we're up right now from 168 to the 166.20, already $1.20. And then we're gonna look for this 164. If the price goes back up, 168, we're gonna simply stop to break even. So as soon as we alert the trade based on the setup, based on the playbook, we right over here what we have to do, which setup this is. And in this case, we have a J Slim into liquidity trap with Bookmap. Okay, so it's a pattern that is recurring, okay, over and over and over. We can see now that we have a support 166 and 70s. What is that support? That support is a 200 on the 5. So it's an institutional EMA as we call it. And the max risk now is going to be break even or holding over here MD. Okay, so remember over here, I'm going to point it out like this. MD short at 168, risking break even, liquidity, trap, J Slim with Bookmap. Okay, so exactly at this point over here. BA means break even. MI and M over here, so probably push. So M&M over here, I believe this is gonna push to the upside. Again, if we have a 440, remember 440. Meanwhile, I'm going back over here, M&M. If we have a 440 and it breaks this level over here, liquidity, and it does this pattern, we're shorting as soon as it comes down over here. This has to be very fast. Let's go back over here on AMD. So you can see it's getting to our break even. Sometimes it's normal, trade won't work, so it's better to cut break even, tight loss, scratch, than taking a big hit. Holding pretty good over here, the 168. Exactly, Tibor. I mean, you mean for the AMD, right? Yes. Sellers over here were absorbing, okay, all the buyers, and then they dumped it. But as well over here, you can see that we had a fake breakdown. So you can see that fake wash over here. Right away, they reclaimed it, and they did a second time, right? Okay, let's go back on MINM. Remember the plan that we're looking at? So we're staying with that. We had one break even in the afternoon and two good shorts in the pre-market on this. And now you can see the big volume coming in. So let's start looking over here. If it pushes above 435 and right away slams down below, we're gonna short it. And that's a call liquidity trap push. For now, they're holding it here 434, so this is no short. It's gonna go strong for now. Also, the time of the day, 10:15, holding pre-market high, is a low forecast fader for now, so be very conservative. This is the last, I would say, chance for now to see if we have a J-slim for a short side, otherwise simply avoid, okay? This is my rule, 10, 10:15, there's no more short play. We can look at late day fade. Yeah, this is strong. Let it go over there. Tesla possibly gonna fail to 188.50. So we're gonna look at the tailings again, the VWAP. So no plan over here for now. So didn't stuff as we wanted. That's it. We're closing the day on MINM, 2 wins, 1 break even. So let's review over here this. How to execute. We're gonna look at Meta. This is a nice home run trade over here from 390 till 396. And this is what I mean when a lot of traders often tell me, Jay, but I see a heat map, should I sell? And look over here, even if we had all these heat maps, right? Even if we had 1, 2, 3, 4, so a wall of sellers between 394 and 396, it's still pushed to the upside. So how to trade this? Now, this is not like, 2020. This is based on a strategy that you can trade if you learn the strategy that we teach. First of all, what we have a pullback. So a first wave right here, which is this, and then a pullback into the J line. So you know that this is an area of possible purchase of the stock where you want to buy. 390, price goes over here 390, and you can see that we start having from a lower high to a lower low, a higher low, and a higher high. And you can see here that the traders start to buy exactly at this point, right? Because we have the J-lines, we have a heat map. You can see over here buyers, right? This point. And now we're looking for this to push to the upside. And you can see that it was selling into this resistance, selling more into this, selling more into this. But again, he sold because he thought all these resistance over here would eventually fail. Instead, what happened? This continued to push. But the way over here you traded pretty good, so I would say very good risk management. And then we go MINM, and this is what I mean by not trading if you're gonna have that A+ setup. On a 5-minute chart, we see that we had this major over here, bull flag, and now all shorts are squeezed. And let it go. Let it go. Okay? There will be times where we are long on something like this. There will be times instead where we are essentially waiting. The reason over here that we didn't trade this short anymore is, remember my rules, 10 a.m., holding open level, equal low forecast fader. We wrote this even a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, remember, and other socials. still very strong volume. Don't fight something like this. For shorting this, you have to wait for a late day fade, just like yesterday, RVCN, NEXI. Okay, so extremely bullish for now. Let it go. Let's review other stocks over here. So MD, we shorted at 168, but then we got our break even. We were 1.20 bucks in the money, then break even. Over here, Amazon, and I would say this morning, besides some, I would say bounce play like Tesla, or like this morning we had Meta over here, which lately traded so good with a reverse of 50. We have to wait for the FOMC coming out at 2, and then we have also data at 2:30. So more waiting for those kind of plays, okay? FOMC is always a day that you have to be a little bit more conservative. I just want to share right now with you a few things. So we saw over here Meta. We saw how the play work, and look over here. The system is telling you, this is the gate, right? Exactly when the price is here. The system is telling you long, exactly at that point. You can see also at that point, you have the entry signal. Okay, black square means like long. Then we had Microsoft, that I didn't have a plan over here this morning for this, as I cannot simply review everything, but the system said over here to short. And why to short? Again, is a setup. We trade, and the short came exactly when we had this fail over here. So at this point, the system gave short. And this template will be available soon. It's a trading system that tells really entry and exit will be available soon with the new website that we're making at Jtraderco. NVIDIA, you can see how choppy. And this is one of the best stocks that I've been trading. Very wide range, a lot of volatility, good liquidity, but it's simply stuck in this range over here. So what to do? I'm not really going to trade it until I don't have a pattern. I will show you soon what I want from this. So let's look at NVIDIA. Okay, this is the hourly chart. So you can see the price when it gets to the J lines or near the J lines, it generally tends to stall. Doesn't mean essentially, oh, it gets to the J lines, buy, right? Because sometimes it can break down like it did over here, for example. But you have a zone where the price stalls. And then of course, if in intraday I start seeing like a pattern of confirmation to long, I then start longing. So how can I long something like this? What is the setup that will allow me, okay, that will give me the entry timing on this trade over here, on this stock over here? So one of the patterns that I'm looking right now is actually a first push, a dip, and then a cut pattern to long it. And I'll be looking at this between an hourly chart and a 5-minute chart. Okay, so you know what I'm looking over here. We have SPY. SPY, we are the same zone over here. So we can go back and check with our intraday time frame. So SPY over here, I'm winding for now. Not really interested in trading this. Again, waiting for the FOMC for the index plays. And again, over here we have, this morning we had a plan, if you remember. We were short, we got a point over here, I'll break even, then it pushed. The only zone that I'll be shorting is this zone over here. Why? There's some liquidity over here at 191.50, 192. There's the hourly J lines. And you can see that the price, every single time that it got to this gray zone, right, it rejected. So at this point, I'm waiting the price to have a short. Otherwise, no trade over here. Okay, so again, try to be very precise, conservative, and this means like building a trading strategy, something that is reliable, something that repeats over time. The best way to do it is by back testing. Okay, let's go back to Bookmap here. And we're gonna go to AMD. Let's look at a 5 minutes. Still holding over here the J lines. Let's see also Tesla over here giving a long play, yeah. Just right now. Tesla long play. Tesla long play. J lines in this 189 trigger our long entry. I see this, sorry, I saw this on another screen. And what is the reason that gives us the long? You can see over here. You see the system over here printing this square. Bookmap confirming over here, confirming the buy, okay, with all this order flow. This is gonna be the first target 190. Okay, so sorry for not calling this in real time. I was looking something else, might be alerted. And she took this 189 and 10. So now what she's doing, she's putting a stop in 189. So she's risking basically 10 cents. You can see that the first target is the previous high, 190, where also we have some liquidity stack. Okay, so we have a big confluence over here. And look, this Bookmap, right? It dipped really to this support, 188 and 50, and then it broke the VWAP to the upside, and it started to gain traction over here. Okay, this is the entry point that we have, this 189. Now let's see if it's gonna hold this 189 or it's gonna flip back down. I see over here some selling pressure. So we cut over here, break even, 189 and 10. This will probably is going to unwind back all the way over here to 188 and 50. You know, if you took over here and you're part of the room, you're probably going to take a scalp. Let's look at that liquidity over here. You can see their basis support 188. Start to bounce over here. Let's see if we're gonna make higher lows, or in this case it's breaking down, so yeah. We're gonna wait. All right, traders, let's see if you have any questions. So we can make a little bit of recap of the morning. Looking at the main plays, I will start with small cap, in this case, MINM. We'll be putting over here a 5-minute chart, and we're gonna look at this. All right, this is MINM. Let's put from pre-market. All right, so this morning, we shorted this, we shorted the chart, and this was around 6 o'clock, and then we short and we cover over here, then we shorted again over here at 350, and this was around 7 o'clock, and we cover over here, Then we re-add over here. So we actually re-add it into this 341, all right? And then what happened over here? Once it started curling, we got out at 341. Remember, we called over here the break-even trade. One of the patterns, again, that I always say is 10 o'clock holding the open level. Actually, sorry, 10 o'clock holding the pre-market high, 10:15 holding open level. You have a forecast that reduced by 50% to have a fail. And in this case, we're not looking anymore to short and just let it go. So important over here to understand that when we have this breakout, you can see here the breakout occurs at 9:55. We have a high volume. Okay, look over here, the volume below, bars in the 5 minutes, 3 million. And then over here, even a 4.5. And also you can see that the majority over here of these dots, okay? So of the prints of the players are long traders, okay? So who bought over here the stock? GHSI, for now, it's holding over here the 9940. We had Cint, traded short from the pre-market, TRIB, traded short from the pre-market, ENSC, traded short from the pre-market. And all of these gave gap and extension play. So you can see that it popped over here, gap and crap play, sorry. You can see over here, popped to the J lines, gap and crap. Tesla. Again, remember FOMC, 2 o'clock p.m. We had a plan on Tesla, actually two plan. The first plan was looking for a trendline break and looking to short below 184, 183 and 50. The second plan was a dip into the 185 and long. And what we had over here, we had simply the play came only to this level, 186, 185 and 70. We didn't take the long from over here, and this simply went all the way up. The only, I would say, the only best and low risk play that we have today is going to be waiting for the FOMC and ideally looking to short this 191, 192. But we have to see how the the setup will form. And then we had Google. So Google this morning was an earnings miss. You can see yesterday after hours came from the 154 down to the 144, so lost 10 points. And then over here we simply had our first trade short, this 144 and 40s, 144 and 50s for a nice 1 point. Over under play that we had this morning right here. AMD, again AMD, we also put over here on Bookmap. This is a very good pattern. Why? What is the pattern that we traded? We took this major fake breakout. You can see over here the bull trap, right? And this, we got the alert over here in real time, alerting this 158. We are looking for the first target 168, 166 and 50, and then we're looking for this 164 and 50 and lower. It happened that it faded, so we got to this point over here. It came back to the break even, and then we decided to step out, so not risking any profits for the day. So essentially a very good pre-market, a few trades after the gate, after the open that were really good to add to the position or like for I would say improving the profit factor. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. It's 10:30. This morning we started like 9 o'clock, so it was a different Bookmap session. For everybody that wants to join our room, you have the link to our trading room is JTrader.co. And I invite you to come see how we trade, and I can guarantee you this will be the last trading room that you will ever take and you ever need. A lot to learn. Also, thank you for attending, traders, and see you back next Wednesday. Thank you very much.